Have you ever stopped to think about what really holds us all together? What guides our choices when nobody else is looking? Well, today, we're going to dive into the invisible architecture of our lives, our fundamental human values. We're going to see how these core principles shape pretty much everything we are and everything we do.
So, let me ask you this right off the bat. What are your core principles? What are those non-negotiables that really define who you are? It's a huge question, I know, but don't worry, we're going to break it all down together.
And here's the thing, we're not going to treat these values like some boring checklist. Nope, I want you to picture them more like building blocks. We're going to start with the absolute base, the foundation of your character, and then we'll build our way up and out, seeing how these blocks connect you to everyone else. So where do we start building? It has to start with you. The very first block, the one everything else rests on, is all about your inner compass. It's the value that defines your personal integrity.
And that foundation, that cornerstone, is honesty. Now, the definition seems so simple, right? Being truthful. But its impact is absolutely massive. See, real honesty isn't just about not telling lies. It's about making sure your words and your actions actually line up with reality. It's the bedrock. You can't build anything sturdy without it. And this is where the rubber meets the road. This is what honesty looks like in the real world. It's not about being perfect, not at all. It's about owning it when you're not. That moment when you just say, you know what, I was wrong. That is one of the most powerful, character-defining things any of us can ever do. Okay, so our foundation of honesty is solid. Now we can start building outwards, right? Building bridges to other people. This next set of values, think of them as the essential currency we have to use to create and maintain literally every relationship in our lives. And the first rule of engagement here is justice. You can think of it as the agreed-upon rules for the game of life. It's all about fairness, about making sure everybody's treated equitably. Because without justice, you can't have a real connection. It's impossible. It feels like the ground beneath your feet is uneven, and no one can stand firm on that. Now, holding up that bridge of connection are these two massive pillars, trust and respect. Trust is all about believing in someone. It's that feeling of safety you get when you can rely on their word. Respect, on the other hand, is about recognizing their inherent worth as a person, really listening to them, treating them with dignity, even if you totally disagree.
Really think about that for a second. Can you? You might respect someone's abilities, but if you don't trust them, that's not a real connection. Or maybe you trust that a friend means well, but you don't actually respect their opinions. See? For a genuine, strong bond, you absolutely need both. They go hand in hand.
All right, so we've got our honest foundation. We've built a bridge of connection with trust and respect. So what's next? Well, now we're going to explore the values that give those connections all their warmth and depth. What gives them real meaning? This is the language of the heart.
And this progression here is it's beautiful. It all starts with affection, those simple, small acts of warmth and care. That naturally builds into gratitude, which is the active choice to be thankful for others. And both of those together, they pave the way for love, the most profound, deep care we can possibly feel. And here's what that journey looks like in day-to-day life. It could start with a simple act of affection, right? Like taking a minute to help a classmate who's really struggling. That can grow into gratitude, making the conscious choice to actually say thank you to the people who have your back. And these actions, they build a path toward that deep, unconditional bond of love, the way you care for your family. You can totally see how each one builds on the one before it.
So, we've laid our foundation, we've built our bridges, and we've filled them with heart. Now, let's step back for a second and look at the complete structure we've just put together. This is our shared blueprint for being human.
When you see them all laid out like this, from honesty with yourself all the way to love for others, you really start to get the whole picture, don't you? And the crucial thing to see here is that none of these values exist in a vacuum. They're all part of this incredible, interconnected system that supports a truly well-lived life. And that is why this all matters so much. These aren't just nice words or abstract ideas. They're active choices we make every single day. They are the blueprint we use to build not just a meaningful life for ourselves, but to help build a more just, more caring, and more connected world for every single one of us.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Looking at this whole blueprint, which one of these values really stands out to you right now? Which one do you want to consciously work on to bring more of into your life starting tomorrow? The choice? as always, is yours. Thanks for exploring this with me.